Hey guys, it's Curiverse and welcome to my mobile game review. I try out mobile games and share my thoughts and opinions so that you guys can decide if you want to play them too. So sit down and enjoy a nice tall glass of water as you prepare your ears and eyes for another one of my wonderful videos. You better drink that water now because I know for a fact you haven't been hydrating, you Sahara Desert cracked lip looking motherfucker. Today's video is about a very cool and very interesting battle royale game, and that game is Overdox. Overdox is a little bit of two genres. It's got a little bit of MOBA sprinkled in there with a little bit of battle royale, and I actually really like that combo. Overdox was created by Hyjin Go Ltd. It's a Seoul-based mobile game developer founded in 2017 by CEO Young-il Lee, known for titles like Play Together, Home Run Clash, and Extreme Golf. The company focuses on creating accessible, casual, and social mobile games. Hyjin is backed by major investors like Keiko Games and focuses on global market reach. I know for a fact that I butchered most of those names, so I apologize. Not really. Overdox was published on November 7th of 2019 and has a current rating of 4.3 stars on the Google Play Store. Alright, so right off the bat you can tell that this game actually had a budget when they were making it. Starts you off with some very cool illustrations while quickly showing you what the game is about. A small robot called the Training Drone explains what the battlefield, aka the map, does and why it's important to learn about it, since the map is the most important thing to understand right away. And I gotta say, this is a decent sized and very cool map. The rules of the game are pretty straightforward. There are 12 people you go up against and the last one standing wins the match. What's also cool about the map is that there are things called universal activation timers that affect you when they're triggered. They give you a massive stat spike if you manage to pull them off without getting killed right away. There are also other interactive objects within the map, such as buffs, which increase the stats of your character, boxes that contain money or items, and warp devices that let you go to other parts of the map, like a Team Rocket headquarters situation. Another thing that's cool is that along with human players or bots in the match, there's roaming enemies for you to defeat for experience, dropped items, or money. Robots, monsters, and mechs. Just to name a few. The aesthetic of the game is very cool. The flashy attacks and cool designs of the characters look really nice in the game. The UI is a little confusing at first, but the more you play, the easier it gets to remember what everything does. What's really annoying though, is that the HP recovery items are far and few between. If you get caught out with barely anything left, you are screwed. They're not even items, they're pads on the ground you step on to heal yourself. But if one of them is triggered already, you either miss out on that specific pad, or you have to wait for the cooldown for you to use it again. And the storm that approaches to make the map smaller insta-kills you! Like, ah! Now, the character models are actually really nice. They have a cool polished cartoon style that works for the over-the-top, clunky armor and weapons that you get to sport around most of the time. And let me tell you, the armor comes fast and free. And just like your a pretty nice thing about the game is that they aren't shy about giving you a ton of free stuff. Weapons, armor, and even cosmetics are given right off the bat to new players like it's candy. Of course, there are ads with some of the things that you get to unlock, but that's the sacrifice you have to pay, I guess, for good gear. It's actually not as bad as some games though. What I did wish for is that the game teaches you how to manage your gear better. There are so many menus and sub-menus and sub-sub-menus for you to navigate all of your equipment that it just gets tiring to go through. I know some people love the very in-depth customization for their games. Like, don't get me wrong, once I was able to work everything out and knew what did what, I made a pretty sick looking character with some decent stats. But to a brand new player who's never played a game like this before, it might scare them off and they would just stick with a basic or unhelpful setup. But then again, not all gamers are as competitive as others, so they could be perfectly happy with the setup that they have. And I know this is nitpicky, but I think it's kind of weird that the entire game has to be reloaded if you decide to change your character's gender from boy to girl and vice versa. Like, why? My best guess is that with all the individual stats for all of your specific gear and modifications, the game literally has to reload, so the clothes can register as female or male body type. It's one of those times where too much of a good thing is really bad for your game. As for the weapons you can use in game, they have a wide variety for you to choose from. In a Monster Hunter-like fashion, you get giant hammers that do massive damage but are slow and bulky, daggers that are fast but rely heavily on combos and min-maxing, swords and shields that have a balanced output of attack and defense, spears spears, staffs, claymores, one-handed blades, maces, and the list goes on. Along with the character setup, there is an overabundance of achievements and honors and rankings to unlock. You also have individual challenges you can take on that's similar to solo play, seemingly hundreds of check-in rewards, login prizes, and dev gifts. It got to the point where I just had to decide to stop opening things because there was just no way I could get through them all. And of course, I started playing during the Christmas time, so I had to listen to this gem the whole freaking time!
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Finally, I was just like, screw it, and I hopped into a queue because I wanted to play the game. The only mode I got to play at the time was the normal mode, so I decided to do that. Most of the people in the lobby were bots, but hey, at least I was finally playing. Matches in this game have 3 stages. The first is when you try to find as much loot in as little time as possible. The players in the game are bloodthirsty and want to kill you right off the bat, so getting loose coins and finding item terminals to buy buffs and abilities with is the best choice of action. After that, the second stage is just wandering around looking for people. The map is fairly large, but not large enough to have it feeling like a ghost town for very long, thanks to the shrinking circle of death and despair. I do have to admit, the music kind of goes hard, not gonna lie. And finally, the third round is you finishing off the remaining players, or getting finished off by the one dude that camped the center of the map the entire game and now is just extremely fed. Also, it's only after the second match that you get combat training. Like, okay, I love the games that allow you to get started right away, but also all those combos and things would have been nice as just like a 30-second how-to pop-up menu, not a whole separate challenge. But that's just me being nitpicky. The training in general isn't even really that extensive. It's basically just, here is how you attack, here is how you block, and the stuff you basically already knew anyway, so it's kind of redundant. Listen, I know I've been complaining a lot about this game, but it does actually have its good sides too. The game is unique, and it has a style that I really like. The models are polished, and the graphics are really well done. It has replayability, to a point, and the customization options are limitless. But that last part about the customization is the problem. The game is completely oversaturated with cosmetics, armor, weapons, and accessories for a battle royale game. Way too many things distract you from the actual game, and the game itself is just as lackluster in a lot of ways. The games feel like you don't really earn the win. Yes, you beat a bunch of enemies, but there really wasn't any challenge to it. And yes, I haven't played enough to really find those high-level players, but do I want to get to a point where the whales and people who have spent money on the game can one-shot me every single time? No thanks. This game is on the very edge of good. Great even. But for me, it just fell short. And that's sad because this really is such a cool game. Alrighty, that's gonna be it for the video. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, would you do me the most solid of solids and smack that like button?
I always spank my girls.
Smack it again, smack it hard! I'll see you next time, guys. And as always, stay curious.